So I wanted to do a video on a figure that's actually really special to me in a lot of ways. Titan's Return Chromedome. Got a bit of a story to go with him, but that can wait until the end of the review. Starting right out the gate with the robot mode aesthetics, Old Domey is a fantastic blending of the G1 character design and his look from the IDW Transformers comics. It's got tons of molded detail and the like, even if mine is admittedly augmented by a repro label set. I really like how he looks. For his accessories, his first blaster is pretty plain, but you know, it's a convincing enough sci-fi gun. For his other blaster, it feels a bit unwieldy no matter which position you're holding it in. If you're really going for that Titan Master seat thing, it just looks silly. Styler on his own has some solid play features for such a tiny guy, and given my experience with Diaclone, adding much more at the scale gets a bit dicey, but he is admittedly criminally underpainted for the molded in details he does have. When it comes to Chromedome's articulation, it is pretty similar to the Combiner Wars guys like Wheeljack, Sunstreaker, etc., but not out of laziness, but rather, it really was the best engineering scheme to go for this body type at this scale at the time. And other than some hollow legs, I think it works. He's got some pretty decent knees, a thigh swivel, great rotation here, and he's got a pretty good waist joint, and arm-wise, he's got solid and dynamic shoulders, 360 rotation, a bicep swivel, and his head has super solid left-right waggliness due to the Titan Master's own articulation. It's not as good as some others, but hey, it's alright. Also being a Titan's Return figure, of course he can swap heads with his fellow headmasters. Sometimes this looks alright. Other times, less so. Anyway, let's go ahead and transform him. Chromedome's transformation is simple and smooth. It makes it more than easy to forgive some of the robot mode's articulation setbacks. Especially when the car mode is just this smooth looking. He looks fantastic, honestly. And even if a little silly, the weapon storage / turret edition is one of the least egregious mountings in Titan's Return. Of course, Stylor can ride in the Legends class figures of the time, but one of the most fun things I always had with Chromedome's car mode was putting LEGO minifigs in the driver's seat, because I mean, they fit well enough even if you can't close it. Overall, should you get him? Well, yeah, and you can't go wrong with the Retro Headmasters re-release recently. But in my opinion, you do end up losing something with that release. Now, what you lose with the re-release is Styler's head mode in the Retro Headmasters version is much more akin to the G1 cartoon design, as opposed to being based on the IDW Chromedome design. But you know, him having the IDW Chromedome design as part of the figure is important to me. When More Than Meets the Eye was coming out, I was in sort of a dark place when it comes to my relationship to the franchise. Now, I'd originally gotten into Transformers when I was pretty young. Ended up having a bit of an abusive caretaker. They were the one who introduced me to the franchise, so once I'd gotten out of their abusive household, I wasn't sure I could still be a fan of the franchise, like on some sort of internal level. But you know, Chromedome and Rewind's relationship coming to the fore in the comic showed that Transformers was on my side, so to speak, and that living with memories, even painful ones, are how we grow as people. That person may have been who introduced me to the series, but they were never the reason I was a fan. And IDW provided examples of characters overcoming their trauma and their own toxic traits to come out as overall better people, as well as the fantastic revamps that the Robots in Disguise More Than Meets the Eye era gave RC to make her actually more positive trans femme rep. Now at the time, I thought I was just trans femme myself and nothing further. But positive examples of masculinity like Chromedome and the like are probably the reason why I was able to figure out I was gender fluid. So, thanks James Roberts, and thanks IDW Publishing. Even if it's harder to get a toy of this Chromedome today, y'all wrote a character who helped me be the person I am today. This has been Tiv, signing out.